Cruise news time. Well, here we go. Carnival Cruise Line changing their drink policy again. A Princess cruise ship straight up denied access to a cruise port. A really big day for Costa Maya yesterday. And a special cruise next year that's going to feature 25-cent alcoholic beverages. Cruise news. My views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for December the 1st, 2022. Hark the herald, the angels sing. It's almost Christmas time, y'all. How about that? Have you finished your Christmas shopping? Do you have a gift under your tree for little Johnny? Is he excited? Did you get that PS5 yet? I don't know. What's everybody getting for Christmas? Regardless, I am here on location on the Carnival celebration, and today I find myself in Mahogany Bay. And do you know where that's at? Roatan, Honduras. That may have been the genesis, the beginning of the Jazz Hands vlog a few years ago, the very first time we went to Roatan, and we said that a lot. Roatan. So dramatic. Cruise news, you want some of that? Cruise news story number 1. Carnival Cruise Line has changed their beverage policy again. You may remember that last month there was an unpopular decision to quit selling bottles of liquor pre-cruise. The way that this would work is you could go onto your cruise manager and you could purchase as many bottles of liquor that you wanted to be delivered to your stateroom, and it would be there ready for you to crack open as soon as you got on board. Well, it was abruptly stopped. And the reason that it was abruptly stopped is Carnival said, hey, look, we want to have a better control on how much alcohol people are consuming. I assume that the backstory to that is so that they could maybe curb some aggressive alcohol behavior. And well, it was met with some not happy people. And so at the time, the way they said it is like, we're changing this policy and it shall never be changed again. Written in stone kind of thing. Well, they've acquiesced. They have changed the policy, and it's not gone all the way back to where it was before they made the change. Now, passengers on cruises 7 days or longer can purchase 1 bottle of alcohol for their stateroom cabin, regardless of the amount of people in the cabin. And so you're going to be able to get a little liquor in you, but at least... And they're charging $15,000 a bottle. I'm just kidding. It'll probably be at the regular prices. But that change started today. So if you are on a cruise going forward and you want to have a bottle of alcohol sent to your room and you're on a 7-day or longer cruise, you can do that. Now, if you're on a shorter cruise than 7 days, you don't have that option. Again, it is pointed out by Carnival that they're trying to get a handle on how much alcohol everyone is consuming, so they're pulling the levers that they can to keep control of that. A nice compromise. I'm sure some people will still be bummed out about it, especially if you're on a shorter cruise and you can't get whatever you want for like your 4-day cruise, but I'm sure people that like to have a bottle for a little longer cruise, well, that will be just swell. Another Carnival Corporation cruise line, though, is going to be offering 25-cent drinks on a special cruise next year. This is pretty exciting. I'm going to tell you about that later. But let's slide into cruise news story number 2. Cruise news story number 2 takes us to Australia, and it takes us to a Princess cruise ship, the Grand Princess, which has been denied entry to the port of Newcastle because of the number of cases on board. This continues to be part of the conversation in Australia as cruising has restarted. There is the fourth wave. I've read about the fourth wave in Australia. So as the country of Australia, the continent of Australia, continues to grapple with the fourth wave of the virus, well, it's impacting cruise ships. When the Grand Princess started to make her way to Newcastle, it was determined that the amount of cases on board were more than what the community of Newcastle wanted to deal with, and so they were denied access. The cruise for the Grand Princess carried on to Melbourne, where guests were disembarked, where some guests were kept on board that had to be privately disembarked. Again, it's a very similar story to what we went through here in the U.S. That's cruising in Australia and New Zealand right now. Still a heavily vaccine requirement, masking on board. I'm pretty sure there's testing right now. But it is what it is. I know there's a lot of folks out there that have the fatigue of talking about this kind of stuff, but in all fairness, we do want to make sure that we include our other travelers in the conversation, and so we're mindful of what's going on in Australia and New Zealand. I hope the situation improves there soon. Cruise news story number 3 is not one that I teased, but one that I wanted to share. I don't know if you guys realize what's going on, but Carnival Cruise Line, with the introduction of the XL class, they basically said, look, Carnival, we can do big ships too. We can do that. So has Carnival delivered on their big ship promise? To me, the promise of the big ship is more options and more entertainment, more food venues. And so I just wanted to share quickly with you how I think Carnival has done a good job, at least with their entertainment. I saw the circus show last night, the Magnificent Circus, and it was great. I mean, really good vocalists singing, really good circus arts performers, really incredible dancers, and it was all put on in the Celebration Station, which is like a multi-use venue, which is another kind of feather in the hat for the big ship being able to develop multi-use venues. And so at least I give Carnival a check mark there. And then there's a lot of food options on the ship, a lot of included food options. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the food. Went to the steakhouse last night, and here's the meal that I had. I had a shrimp cocktail, a Caesar salad. I had their signature ribeye, and then I also had the cheesecake. Let me throw up the picture of the ribeye again. I had a little ribeye quandary last night. There were 2 ribeyes on the menu. There was this ribeye, which is the signature ribeye. They talked about special spices and seasonings on this ribeye. And then they also had the cowboy ribeye, which is a ribeye with a bone in it. They didn't talk about the special spices on that one, but why would you take the bone-in ribeye versus the bone-out ribeye? Do you like a bone-in chicken wing, or do you like a bone-out chicken wing? What kind of steak person are you? It really begs the question. Do you like a big marbleized ribeye? Do you like that filet mignon? Who likes the New York strip steak? I'm concerned about people that are strip steak people. But do you like a flat iron steak? Skirt steak? Do you ever have this steak conversation with your friends? I think I did read a report somewhere that a psychologist said that 8 out of 10 serial killers, well, they like cube steak the best, or steakums. Cube steak and steakums, I think you're really off the chart there. But okay, enough of the steak talk. But yeah, way to go, Carnival. I think they're doing a good job with their big ship promise. But let's slide over to cruise news story number 4. Let's talk about the day that Costa Maya had yesterday. I was in the port of Costa Maya. I didn't get off because sometimes Costa Maya could be a little crowded. Well, yesterday it was super duper crowded. 15,000 passengers came off of 4 cruise ships yesterday, and 3 of the cruise ships were kind of brand spanking new. Of course, I'm here on the Carnival Celebration, the Norwegian Prima, and the Valiant Lady from Virgin Voyages in port, also joined by the very seasoned Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas. Costa Maya is an interesting port. It was developed by a Mexican business owner primarily to host cruise ships, and so you have a little area that's all kind of built for cruise passengers, but then when you get beyond that area, it's very rural. It's a very rural Mexican spot. You can go see ruins, that kind of thing. Costa Maya, one of my favorite things to do there, they haven't done, I don't think, since the pandemic. They used to have luchador wrestling at a big pavilion there. You could have your favorite beverage, you could watch some luchadors. It was a really cool thing to do in Costa Maya, but are you a fan of Costa Maya? What do you like to do there? You can leave a comment below. And now I got to tell you about the cruise line that will be offering 25-cent drinks. 25-cent drinks on a special sailing next year. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in Roatan, cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Big shout out to everybody who joined the Loca fam yesterday. We saw a little bit of a bump, trying to get to that 250,000. Look, you want to be a part of the in crowd, and well, subscribing, that is the way to do it. It's all the cool kids are doing it. We gave up smoking cigarettes, and the cool thing that we're doing now is we're rolling up YouTube subscriptions in our white t-shirts. How about that? Thank you in advance. All right, time to talk about Holland America Line and talk about this special cruise that's going to feature 25-cent drinks. It's a special cruise because it's going to retrace the very first cruise that Holland America ever took. It's going to retrace it, except in reverse. This is going to be a 13-day, 150th anniversary celebration cruise. It's going to take off in New York City, and it's going to make its way to the Netherlands on the MS Rotterdam. Let's peep the itinerary real quick. This starts on April the 6th, 2023. It starts in New York City with an overnight in New York on the 6th and 7th of April. April the 8th through the 15th of April, days at sea. How about that? That's like a week of sea days. Now on April the 16th, there will be a port stop at Plymouth, England in the UK. The 17th will be a stop in Dover. And then April the 18th and 19th will be an overnight in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. This seems like it would be a very cool cruise, but one of the coolest things is they're going to be doing a traditional happy hour where they're going to throw the price back to what the price of a drink was 150 years ago. So for a quarter, for a George Washington, for a shiny 25 cents, you'll be able to get adult libations during the happy hour. That's probably the cheapest. That's certainly one of the cheapest prices I've seen for a cruise ship drink. It's almost free. And, well, I did get free drinks in the casino on this cruise. Wait till I tell you how much that cost me. I'm working on that video. Stay tuned for that. But beyond the 25-cent drinks, this actually sounds like a pretty cool cruise. Would that many sea days appeal to you or not appeal to you? An old traditional route from New York to the Netherlands, is that something that you're excited about? Is this a cruise that you would take? Something you're not interested in? Leave a comment below. It's kind of funny. Here's a look at the shipwreck here in Mahogany Bay. If you've never seen the first time that we talked about Roatan and threw up the jazz hands, check out this vlog. It was early on in La Lido Loca, but it's a good one. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.